Good evening, I'm Josh Hilkeman, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. Husker Cross Country competed in the Gans Creek Classic earlier today in Columbia, Missouri. Both the men and women finished in 16th place in the team competition. On the women's side, the top individual for Nebraska was Allie Bainbridge, who took 34th place, while Rico Leonar was the men's top finisher in 31st place. The Huskers will next be in action on October 18th with pre-nationals, which will also take place in Columbia, Missouri. College football tonight, number 8 Florida State and Virginia just about to kick off in Charlottesville. FSU looking to improve on their 3-0 start to the season. 24th ranked TCU travels to Arizona State. Kickoff at 8 o'clock between the Horned Frogs and Sun Devils. And at 9:30, Houston faces Oregon State in Corvallis. These two teams headed in opposite directions as the Cougars are 3-0 and the Beavers are 0-4 to start the season. And some Major League Baseball as they enter the final weekend of the regular season tonight. Some games of importance for the playoff picture. A few games coming up in just a few minutes. The Orioles and the Yankees. The Blue Jays playing the Rays. And it's the Tigers squaring off with the Red Sox. Also the Guardians hosting the Rangers. Coming up at 7 o'clock, it'll be the Astros against the Angels and the Reds playing the Brewers. Our sports ticker is brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit StonebridgeIWM.com. Hour 1 of Sports Nightly is up next right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
2 wide each way. Underwood out of the gun. Marshall, the running back right. Takes the wayside snap. 4-man twisting rush. Underwood under pressure. Ball's loose. It's picked up. Deshaun Singleton was in the area. Beanbags on the turf. They stripped it. Black shirts get it done and get the takeaway. Snap to Raiola. Rolls right. Looks downfield to the numbers. Raiola plants. Launches. Far right side of the end zone. Jump ball. Was it caught? Was it caught?
Unreal.
Touchdown! Huskers! Jakari Barty on a prayer! 52 yards!
Line drive serve is in. Pass by Harper. Set middle. Rebecca for the match. She got it! Call the grandkid. Nebraska wins another in 5 over Creighton. The Big Red remains perfect. 9-0 in 2025.
Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Coody and Kyle Crooks on the Huskers Radio Network.
Happy Friday, everybody. When's the last time we were here on a Friday? We were on, I know we were on the air last week, but Nick filled in for us because we were both on location.
Is it pre-Cincinnati?
It was...
It's got to be, right?
Before the volleyball season.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I'll tell you what. Listening to that sports ticker, it just reminds me that Josh could take every single one of our jobs if he wanted to.
You want to talk about a jack of all trades.
And I ain't kidding. So if he wanted to, he could take all of our jobs. We might just have Josh do the whole thing.
We should. Look, hey,
just
Josh,
do
we're
a talk
out.
show,
We're out,
press
Josh.
the buttons.
We've got the rest of the 2 hours.
Sports ticker. Man's
Is
got
he
a lot of
okay?
talents.
Here's the question though. You made such a big deal about Joke of the Week. I said we'd bring it back.
Tried to kill.
I said we'd bring it back for the bye week. Is he doing Joke of the Week or are you?
I'll do it.
Okay.
I can do it. And
All
I'll
right.
knock it out of the park.
Listen, you were the one that threw me under the bus. You made me out to be the bad guy, so I brought it back. So you better be ready to deliver.
I'm ready. I'm nervous, but I'm ready.
We are going to do that here in the first hour because we've got picks and the Blitz and sponsored stuff. We got to get to all that good stuff in the second hour. So we have plenty of time to allow for you to have plenty of time here coming up this hour at the end of the hour. So
I'm ready. This is a big Friday. It's not just any Friday. This is a big bye week Friday.
It is a big bye week Friday. Unfortunately, soccer, first L of the season last night. They looked good. They really dominated, just couldn't find the net. Outshot Michigan. They led at half, but Michigan ends up scoring, I think, in the 45th and 49th minute or something to hand Nebraska their first loss of the season, 2-1 last night, unfortunately. But they got a big bounce-back opportunity coming up on Sunday against Iowa.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing you have a quick turnaround now for soccer, and you just got to keep going. They've already had some good results in the holster so far for them. So I think there's a lot of confidence that's been built up over the last month or so for Nebraska soccer, and a lot of momentum, and a one-goal loss doesn't necessarily change any of that. It's, we know how many, especially in conference play, how many tie results or one-goal results that you'll get. So sometimes you come up on the wrong end of it, and you have a big opportunity coming up this weekend.
I didn't play soccer. I'm not a diehard. I don't watch it all the time, but from what I could see, it seemed like Nebraska really dominated. I mean, they had lots of opportunities, just couldn't capitalize, which I think is a good sign. I mean, they had talked about going into it as going to be a really physical match, but hopefully they can bounce back in a big one. Top 10 matchup at Hibner on Sunday against Iowa.
What was the crowd like last night? Did you wind up making it out there?
It was pretty solid. There were lots of people in the berms, so it was a good crowd. So hopefully another good one coming up on Sunday. I was literally glued from the second the Bryson DeChambeau and Justin Thomas teed off at 7:10 this morning until they just signed off the air. Ryder Cup, I told you I'm all in. I was glued to the television. Unfortunately, not a great start for Team USA, but they did. Look, 2 years ago it was abysmal. They got swept in the the early morning. But the unfortunate part of it is that I think the last 5 Ryder Cups, whoever wins the Friday foursomes go on to win the Ryder Cup. So
not a good sign.
USA's going to have to break that trend because they're down 5.5 to 2.5. But the last 4 balls went down to the last match, and it was a battle, and so it was highly entertaining. So hopefully USA can come out. They make some tweaks to the pairings. I think Bryson DeChambeau needs to be on the even number holes from what it sounds like, but hopefully mix some things up and get Scotty going, DeChambeau going, and things can turn around.
It doesn't seem like Scotty's been getting going. Doesn't seem like it's been a good start.
Yeah, he played a little bit better in the afternoon, but had a tough morning. And a lot of that is due to your partner. He wasn't set up for a lot of success, but got to get the number 1 guy in the world going in order to win this thing. And so
still early though.
Still lots of golf, but it is a tough hill to climb. And but my dad was there. I feel like maybe we should cold call him.
You should. You should
see what it was like. It was loud, and then unfortunately,
it's the least he could do. Really, he didn't bring you.
I told him to give me a sweatshirt or a T-shirt or something.
That's about $7,000.
I looked up. I think it's like $250 for like a
That's
hoodie.
the thing with like the Masters is the concessions are super cheap,
Yeah.
but the memorabilia and the T-shirts and things like that, they're
Have
crazy.
you been to the Masters?
I have not. But
okay,
I've heard.
my dad and brother actually went 2 years ago, and I still have my favorite sweatshirts from there. I don't think it's that because they are pretty traditional. So a lot of it is but you can't take your phone in. So my brother called me from a payphone.
You can't take your phone in?
No, you check your phone. So you cannot use your
Makes
phone.
sense.
So my brother called me. I got this phone call at 6 a.m. from Augusta, Georgia. He's like, "Sis, we're here. We're in here." But yeah, so my dad's there all weekend, and it was loud until Europe silenced the crowds there in New York. Really, it was I think an hour since they had won a hole. They got going off to a good start, and then it was like a stretch of an hour that Team USA didn't win a hole. So hopefully they can get it going. But it's my favorite sporting event to watch. That's not one that I'm covering, I guess. And I told you it's at the number 1 on my bucket list.
Well, I don't like this, that your family's been able to go to the Masters. Your dad's at the Ryder Cup. And who's on the outside looking in every single time? It's you.
Listen, I've been to multiple PGA Tour. I went to the Phoenix Open. That's
a crazy deal.
Yep, and that was fun. And, the Masters, you have to get on a wait list and you have to submit. And it was actually a relative that ended up getting them the tickets, and so it was kind of a special deal. But yeah, I don't know if my brother loved the Masters because it is so you have to be quiet and you have to mind the rules and all of that. But I love walking and watching golf. It's one of my favorite things to do.
See, that's a lot. That's too much walking for me.
No,
and you have bad knees, right? Like me.
Yeah, but I can walk.
Not for 8 hours at a time.
I told you, yes, I do it on game day every Saturday.
That's true.
I told you that one day I had 22,000 steps. I was
Not quite John Butler, though.
Not quite John Butler status, but no, I can walk. It's like I don't know if I'd trust myself to go do some hooping, and some cutting and trying to play defense.
You don't try to play defense on the golfers when you're out there?
No, I don't. I mean, let's face it, I never really played defense anyways, but...
So tell me about your game. Tell me about your basketball.
I was a
game.
shooter.
You're just would you just stand at the because that's what I did growing up. I would stand at the 3-point line.
Probably not giving myself enough credit, but I mean, I did a little bit of everything.
What were the stats?
I don't know. I mean,
Everybody knows. Josh, you hoop? Josh hoop back in the day?
A little bit.
Okay. Josh probably knows his stats. Like, if you played in high school, you knew your stats.
I averaged 18 points a game my senior year.
Okay. So you knew exactly how many points you averaged.
I averaged almost a triple-double my junior year. So.
Okay.
I was like 10, 9, and 8 or something like that.
So you're like Caitlin Clark.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Caitlin Clark almost averaged a triple-double
exactly like
in college.
Caitlin Clark. But no, we got to get serious here. Some really, really sad news for Husker football today as it spread. It was all over my social media, but really just sad and shocking, tragic news as we lost a Husker and Matt Verszel, who near and dear to so many people. I mean, you could just see the outpouring of support, the messages. He was, I think, just I unfortunately never had a chance to meet him or get to know him, but he was involved in so many things in this state. Was a high school coach, owned a pizzeria, Paisan's Pizzeria, was in the media, went on a bunch of different sports talk shows, and he was a really, really, really close friend, brother to our own Damon Benning. So I know Damon is hurting tonight, and so I just hate when one of our own hurts, and it just so sad. But a walk-on back in 1992 as a member of the national championship teams in 94 and 95, and I know you were part of the emceeing that event. And it just, when we were going and talking about last week, when we were revisiting some of the memories with that, and you could just tell with Damon when he was talking about that team, it's different, right? And I think those teams that win those national titles, it's different in that locker room, and you can just you saw how close they were. So I know not only his family and friends hurting, but certainly that those football teams that he was a part of here at Nebraska really hurting today. Yeah,
when you're college teammates for somebody for 4 or 5 years, there's a unique brotherhood, especially when you win championships. And for them, they had a chance to win those back-to-back, and he was the same years as Damon, and like you said, they were incredibly close. So to hear that news, and then to see, especially when you go on Twitter and you see the impact he had on everybody in the media, because like you said, he had done a lot of media appearances, and he was entrenched in Omaha, and of course he left his impact here on those championship teams, and he's the classic Nebraska story. Like a lot of those guys in those mid-90s teams walk on to superstar, to champion. So incredibly sad to hear that news here today. And I know not just Damon, but a lot of guys from those teams, and a lot of guys, a lot of fans from those years that are still with us, that are still rooting on the Huskers, are really hurting today.
Did want to pass along the statement from Nebraska football that they put out today. The Nebraska football family is deeply saddened by the passing of former Husker Matt Verszel. From walk-on to national champion, Vers embodied what it means to be a Nebraskan, and will leave a lasting impact on teammates, kids, and communities across the state. And we just wanted to make sure and send our thoughts and prayers to his family, to the Husker family, to our own Damon Benning, as I know there's a lot of folks hurting tonight. He meant a lot to a lot of people, but we did want to make sure and pass along those sentiments as Matt Verszel passes away at the age of 51.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
The color red means something to us. It means tough, ready, and powerful. It means our standards are high, and we expect the highest level of performance on and in the field. So while the Huskers are getting it done on the football field, you can count on Massey Ferguson tractors to get it done in your field. With its seamless CVT transmission and efficient AGCO-powered engine, you'll keep charging down the field all season long. Check out the full line of Massey Ferguson equipment at Osceola Implement in Osceola and True Ag and Turf in Falls City, Columbus, and Osmond.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. It's just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Summer adventures may be winding down, but at Woodhouse Ford, the road ahead is just beginning. As the seasons change, make sure you're ready for every drive. Whether it's tailgating weekends, fall road trips, or the daily commute, Woodhouse Ford has trucks, SUVs, and reliable service you can count on. This fall, find your perfect ride at Woodhouse Ford. Explore special financing and current offers online or visit us in-store at one of our 3 locations in Blair, Omaha, and Plattsmouth.
At Hogemeyer, we're raising the bar on yield performance, bringing world-class traits and genetics to these local fields with the exceptional corn rootworm control and proven powerful yields of new Vorceed-less corn. The unsurpassed flexibility and protection against above-ground pests with PowerCore-less corn and other next-gen corn hybrids built to perform and boost your yields. It's time to raise a better crop. View Hogemeyer products at therightseed.com.
1 year, 0 interest. With a qualifying seed purchase from Central Valley Ag by October 17th, you can unlock 0% financing for 1 full year on seed and crop protection. The first 10 growers to enroll this week in the CVA Go Early Seed Program will receive 100 units of free Saltro soybean seed treatment. Details at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
When second's making a play, short's got it covered.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Let's get it. Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3, Wildcat!
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
See Shelter Agent John Austin in Fairbury, Rhonda Miller in Alliance, or Stephanie Culver in Holdridge today.
Over the last few years, we've redefined what working remotely means, and so is the Ford F-150. Bring your desk wherever you go with an available flat interior work surface. Drop down the available tailgate work surface to get it all done, and plug in what you need outside the cab with available Pro Power on board. How's that for upping your productivity? Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Get F-150 for 0.9% plus $3,250 cash, or lease one for $499 a month and 0 down. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. I'm Jessica Coody with Kyle Crooks. Josh Hilkeman over there for us as well. So we got a Big Ten play continues for Nebraska volleyball after opening up with a sweep on Wednesday. So back at home inside the Devaney Center tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Had a chance this week to chat with assistant coach Brennan Hagar. It was after the last non-conference matchup, but as a part of this week's episode of The Dig, and wanted to bring you a portion of that conversation here tonight. When the rotations happen too, that was one thing that I know Lindsay had talked about. When teams, it's like a chess match, right? Depending on which rotation you set up in. And so maybe the opposing team might try to do something to get into where it's like a mismatch against the middles. Is that kind of right? And then how do you guys figure out how to maneuver around that?
We haven't really ran into that yet. But like that is like what teams will do. Honestly, the reason why, like a big reason why I wanted to add all of these different routes is so that is taken out of the equation. Where like, okay, perfect, they're up there. It genuinely doesn't matter because we're able to be so good in these other areas of attacking or certain routes to be able to free other things up. I would say from like our standpoint, it's like maybe like pin blockers, or we like offensively, we like the matchup on our side of the net. And so I think like we will probably run into situations where we may have to flip or rotate based off of the matchups that we like on our side. But yeah.
So the last time we were here, we talked about Andy serving, but I did want to talk to you about now we've seen Rebecca get back there and do some big things. What's gone into her kind of process to be a weapon back there from the service lane?
It was honestly something that Becca's been serving great in practice. Honestly, all the middles have pretty nice serves, so that's helpful, especially because they're nice and tall. They're able to contact the ball at a different height. And so, yeah, it was kind of like right before the game had happened, Danny's like, I kind of feel like Becca might need to be ready to serve, because she's also a great defender too.
Mm-hmm.
So
is that the key? Is like, okay, yeah, well, you can serve, but is it how you can pass too?
I would say yes. It's also just like the toughness of your serve. Like, can you score points? Mm-hmm. And Becca's always really tried to take pride in every aspect of her game. You'll see she's a great out-of-system setter. I mean, she's a great beach player, so that also contributes to being a great server, a great defender. Obviously, she's a great blocker. So, yeah, it was just, Danny's big on, well, if you've proven yourself and like can prove your skills that you can do like in a practice setting, you should be rewarded and given the opportunity to put it in a match. And so I think that was really cool that Becca's gotten to do that. And I don't think she's served since freshman year. Yeah, I think her freshman year was the last time.
How much do they love getting back there and serving? It seems like they Becca get pretty fired up about it.
Becca loves it, yeah.
Manayo Beche, we've also seen more of her here in the last few matches. How have you seen her progress just since she stepped on campus in, June?
Yeah, I call her, she's a monster. She's like, teams are going to probably have to scout her. She is offensively and defensively well beyond her years. Like, I don't consider her a freshman. I really don't. I think her IQ, how she goes about the game, her intentionality, like every practice, her personality, it makes it so fun to like play with her. She would be someone that I would have wanted to play with. And so I think she's also just really learned a lot from Becca and Andy.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's just taking in as much information, and Kenna too. Like, they're both very unconditional, like first year players, because they're so talented, and just like their mindset going in is well beyond their years.
They're not intimidated.
No.
Not at all.
And even if they are, like, you really wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does that do for them? I can't think of any better competition than going up against Becca and Andy in practice. That's had to push them even more than you always see growth as a freshman, but then when you're facing that every single day, you have no choice but to get better every single day.
Yeah, and I kind of had a heart-to-heart with Ken and Mania before, I think it was before the Creighton game. It's like, hey, we're about to enter Big Ten, Creighton, end of preseason. It's like, your job is to now, we're shutting down Becca and Andy, like full force. And I think that that's made them better players because it's like proven to them that they can perform at like a high caliber level. And that's only going to better them in the long run. And it's also had to make Becca and Andy better in practice too, because they aren't just, oh, they're hitting against a freshman. It's like, no, they're really good, like really, really good. And so it's upping the level of competition in our gym. And if we're able to do that with all 4 middles, and my goal is to have like the best middle group in the country. And so I think that we're taking steps in that right direction where it's like 1 through 4, it doesn't matter who's in or who's not in, is we're like one unit and we're always like going to perform.
I think it's cool too, because, you know, it can be where, hey, I want mine, but Andy and Rebecca for 3 years now they've shared the load very well, and they just play so well off of each other.
Yes.
And that's not always the case with teammates.
Yeah, I think it's just a really, really great culture that had been set like from Jalen, just like everybody who has been a middle we're all celebrating and wanting the success for each other, whether it's practice, whether they get a shot like in a game, whether they're redshirting. It's like celebrating those little wins and just knowing that even if like I get blocked by them, it's like, oh, that's a great move. Like we've been working on that. So it's knowing the strengths and like what everybody's working on, and then being able to celebrate and just have that really like cohesive bond amongst each other.
One of the things I wanted to talk with you about last time, we just ran out of time, but you just mentioned it. You've worked a lot with Jalen last year and the last couple of years, and obviously he's fantastic. What are some of the things that you've learned from him? How important has his mentorship been to you?
I mean, I don't think I would be where I am right now without him, honestly. It's like every aspect. I think one of like the biggest things that he's taught me came last year, and no, it was 2 years ago. And it was like everybody wants to always fix the end result, like what happened at the very like we didn't get the kill, didn't get the block or whatever. And it's like, well, actually everything happened or that went wrong happens before that action had ever happened. So it's like what happens at the beginning of the chain to be able to help affect the end result. And so if the beginning of your chain is weak, how can you have the end of the chain be strong? And so that's been a huge mindset shift for me, because I honestly like never really thought about that in that way. And especially from a middle blocker position, how I was talking earlier, if your posture, your steps, or your eyes are late, it doesn't allow for you to have success in that area. And that's in every position. It's like setting, passers, serving specialists. Like it doesn't matter if the beginning of your chain, whether it's like toss, footwork, how you're standing isn't great, how's your end result going to be great? So that's been huge. I also think he's just really, really good at pushing the envelope of like making players great. And yeah, a lot of his verbiage is the same verbiage that I use. And I mean, it's made like when I go and play, it's made me better. And so I'm like, well, if it makes myself better and like the others around, like I'm also going to be using that.
Again, that was Brennan and Hagar as a part of this week's episode of The Dig. You can listen to that full conversation out now on our podcast platforms, our YouTube channel as well. Dig is powered by Emeritus. Emeritus is proud to power The Dig and all of Husker women's sports. All right, Kyle, we're approaching, quickly the midway point to the season, but we're in conference play. What are the biggest things you've learned about volleyball since you've been here?
The biggest thing I've learned, Nebraska volleyball is it's wild here.
Yeah.
It's unlike anything that I've ever been a part of or seen. And I've seen Oklahoma softball up close and personal. You saw Oklahoma softball.
So some crazy
gymnastics
too.
I saw some crazy gymnastics as well. I would say
basketball. I mean, even like
I saw South Carolina basketball up close and personal. I would probably say it's comparable to that, especially if Nebraska wins a national championship this year. You can make the argument. I mean, Nebraska volleyball is on the level of, if it's not there, it's getting there. Like UConn women's basketball and Tennessee, and Tennessee's not what they used to be in women's basketball. But when you think of the brand of Tennessee Lady Vol basketball, like Nebraska volleyball is in that area.
Yeah, I wanted to play for Pat Summitt.
You did?
Yeah.
And we saw your numbers, 18 points per game. I think you should have. I think you could probably play for Tennessee now.
Oh, yeah. But no, I mean, maybe a little bit, just because I think here people are more invested, I think, in college sports than elsewhere a lot of times. And maybe comparable. I think the closest you compare to the craziness of it and just the investment and the care, maybe what we saw with Iowa and Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, I could see that. Again,
it was wild there when she was there. So,
but that's surrounded more around one athlete, as opposed
it's not been the same. I mean, they're good and they do still get a lot of people that are interested in that program, but not like the Caitlin Clark craze.
I think the consistency in which the interest of Nebraska volleyball, whether they win a national championship or not, you could sell out a football stadium, not win a national championship, come back the next year, and you're still I feel like they could sell out Memorial Stadium whenever they wanted to. It's just a different deal.
Oh yeah. So do you think John Baylor is going to miss Saturday? So we've got Matt Coatney stepping in.
Yeah, I'll be listening.
Are you ready to call play-by-play of volleyball?
No, I can't do what JB does. Coatney was telling me he's been deep into his prep to make sure that he's ready to go. I can't do the one-liners like JB can do. I'll try to do my best impersonation if that ever came down to it, but I could not sit in that seat and be anywhere near John Baylor.
So I have tried to do, before the year before I came here and came to Lincoln, I did some volleyball on TV, and it was so fast. So I could not even imagine doing radio where you got to call everything. Like, I could barely keep up on TV, and it's like you don't have to call everything on TV.
It seems like it's a fun sport to do on the kind of like hockey.
Yeah.
So there's a short story. Last year at Florida, there was Courtney Lyle does all the big volleyball matches. She's on the A team for ESPN. She was doing a football game at Memphis, and it was when there was a hurricane that was getting set to come through Florida. So they weren't sure whether she was going to get to Gainesville. It was Florida, Kentucky. It was after Sunday NFL Countdown with the A crew. I get a call on Monday saying, Kyle, there's a good chance you're going to do this volleyball match. I've never done volleyball. So the first volleyball match, I did one for like Paramus High School way back when. But this volleyball match would have been Kentucky, Florida on ESPN with the A team after Sunday NFL Countdown, having done one in my entire life as a color analyst like 10 years prior.
Oh, wow.
She just made it to Gainesville in time. I was in the conference calls, had a spotting chart ready, was talking to the producers, scared out of my mind.
Oh, man.
That you can't say no either.
Yeah.
Like, this is your shot.
Yeah.
And I was this close to doing on ESPN with the ESPN A crew that did like did Nebraska, Kentucky, and Nashville, like that crew, and who did opening weekend here to doing a game with that crew.
Wow.
Not having done one match my entire life.
But she made it in time.
She made
and
it just
you were
in time.
like,
she texted me that morning saying, I am here, you can stand down.
Oh.
After just sweating through a whole night of sleep, like, am I about to get exposed in front of a massive national audience? And here I am doing a crash course of volleyball throughout the week, watching all these matches, watching all these YouTube videos. And you just never know when I talk to young broadcasters, and I'm sure you say the same thing, like, you never know when that opportunity comes.
I got a fun, quick story then on that note. So wrestling at Oklahoma, there was some, I don't know, some miscommunication on the scheduling. So Toby Rowland, who's the voice of the Sooners, was supposed to do it. He, something came up, and then he didn't know. Then somebody else was sick, and then another guy couldn't do it. So it was like, they called me. It was like, it started at 2, and it was 1:15. And they're like, you got to get there. And I'm like, Sunday, it was like a Sunday, and it was like my day off. I'm like probably watching football in my jammies, like, and I'm like, are you serious? Is this a joke? So I like just ran up there. I illegally parked my car. I threw it to like the security guard had to move it. I'm rolling in there as they are like, the lights are down and they're doing the starting lineups, because I live like 30 minutes or 25 minutes from the arena. I had no idea who was. I mean, I kind of knew Oklahoma's, like I would hear, like I would know a little bit about their lineup, but I knew nothing about the wrestlers from the opposing team.
Mm-hmm.
And I just sat there and I rolled with it. I had no idea what was going on, but by the end, boy, I was like, 2! You
just get the flow.
Oh yeah, I was loving it by the end. But I was probably. I mean, thank goodness there was a former OU coach that was there and he was carrying me. But I basically was just trying to get us in and out of the breaks and letting him do the rest. But that was.
We all have those stories.
Yes. Yep.
You don't know when it's going to come, how it's going to, like, and all of a sudden you're thrust into this massive opportunity that you had no idea was going to be present in 24 hours before.
Yeah, it was wild for sure. You were talking about, sweating and, that was stressful. That was stressful. All right, got to get to a break. More coming up, including Kyle's Joke of the Week. Keep it here on Sports Nightly. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics.
It's not a job. I don't start my day by logging in or end my shift by punching out. I don't have a corner office, but I do have a seat with a view. I get to see every sunrise and every sunset. And while I may technically be my own boss, I fully accept that I am not in charge. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
Over the last few years, we've redefined what working remotely means, and so is the Ford F-150. Bring your desk wherever you go with an available flat interior work surface. Drop down the available tailgate work surface to get it all done. And plug in what you need outside the cab with available Pro Power on board. How's that for upping your productivity? Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Get F-150 for 0.9% plus $3,250 cash, or lease one for $499 a month and $0 down. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir, Toyota trucks. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, Quarren Toyota of Bellevue, or Village Point Toyota of Omaha.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Shelter agents Brent Rucco, Pete Vols, or George Florum in North Platte today.
Over the last few years, we've redefined what working remotely means, and so is the Ford F-150. Bring your desk wherever you go with an available flat interior work surface. Drop down the available tailgate work surface to get it all done, and plug in what you need outside the cab with available Pro Power on board. How's that for upping your productivity? Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Get F-150 for 0.9% plus $3,250 cash, or lease one for $499 a month and 0 down. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Set. Hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly with Josh and Kyle. I'm Jessica. Roger on the text line said, welcome to Nebraska with all the pluses and minuses that there are that go along with the show in this state. Kyle, the ride here is awesome, no matter what sport it is. Wait till you get a load of KP on Husker hoops, and that's from Roger, GBR forever.
Look forward to it.
Yeah.
It's coming up soon. Get Kent on the air October 18th.
Yeah, it'll be here
Tips
before you know it. So we talked earlier. I told you guys my dad was at the Ryder Cup. How about we call him and see what it was like? Let's just cold call him.
Let's do it.
I don't think he's ever been on Sports Nightly.
And if he doesn't answer, that's unfortunate.
I know.
Because it means he doesn't want to talk to you.
So I asked the guys in the chat. So we're going to see. He better answer. I said that he answers every call, but we'll see here.
You reached Jack Coody. I'm probably on the green putting out. Didn't hear the phone ring.
Did you his voicemail? I'm probably on the green putting out.
So he
deny the call?
He denied it.
He denied it. I'm going to text him.
And he should know it's a Nebraska area code.
I know. Well, no, I don't know, because I still have a 405 number. Answer your phone, Dad.
So, denied. Absolutely denied on live radio.
Oh.
I guess we're never going to know how the Ryder Cup was.
Well,
at least our audience won't.
Yeah.
I can tell you on TV it was cool.
Oh, well. Live, I just texted him, answer your phone, Dad, but he sent us directly to voicemail.
Yeah, he that was the fastest hang up I think I've ever been a part of.
He usually always answers his phone and then just hangs up on people when it was like, hey, we're offering you a free cruise. He just not interested, thank you. But he usually always answers.
He gives the courtesy pickup to actually listen to the first sentence of what a telemarketer has to say.
Not interested, thank you.
It's very nice.
So I'm shocked he didn't answer. So, okay, so in the meantime, I guess, since my dad is...
That's really tough. Not gonna lie to you.
Live radio, I guess. I was sure he'd answer. Joke of the week.
Okay. So
All
I got a few.
Oh, you got a few. You got a few.
So we're in Nebraska, right? We got to get that Nebraska flavor to it, if you may. What does corn say when it gets a compliment?
I don't know. What does it say?
Ah, shucks. Okay.
I like it.
Let's see what else. Let's see.
You got another one?
You thought I was done.
Okay.
I ordered a chicken and an egg online. I'll let you know what comes first.
Oh, that one wasn't as good. You should have left it at the shucks.
Okay.
All right, if you forgot what we do here, what do you think?
Because you tried to crush the segment as a whole, so people forget what we used to do. We got the rating system, right?
What did you guys think? Let us know. Rate it 1 to 10. How did Kyle do? How did he deliver?
Here. Let me
on joke of the week.
LOL, Shane LOL, all in caps.
No, I think he was laughing at the fact that my dad's voicemail, he sounded
again, that was
Southern.
pretty tough. Yeah,
he sounded Southern.
Yeah, he did. That was actually
I
pretty
tried
funny.
to tell you because I give you a hard time about your orange and Arrowhead. And
There's a lot of things that I have in my
I'm
arsenal.
like, wait till you hear my parents. You're going to die. Like, they are definitely 7.
I got a 7. I got an 8. Let's just judge the first one. The second one. Crypto said perfect 10 plus.
Children of the Court is a tough grader, and he gave you a 7.
6.5.
A 7. So that's pretty solid.
9.7, 7.83. Very specific, Shane, but that's your man of detail.
Yep.
I like it.
Did you read Crypto's?
Josh, what? Let me see.
He
What,
gave you a perfect 10.
yeah, because he used to call me a garden gnome.
Oh.
So I think he's just being nice. I think that's what he said in there.
Mm.
Josh, do you have a score for me back there?
I'll go with a 9. I like the creativity with the corn, bringing that into the fold. So I'll give you a 9. Made me laugh.
Art in Los Angeles gives you 9. 8 for the egg.
8.
And
Art?
I tried to tell you he likes B jokes, so you're never going to get a 10 unless you do a B joke from Art.
Like the letter B?
No, like buzzing bees.
Okay, buzzing bee.
Like the insect.
Art's one of
bees.
my biggest fans, so we have to grade Art on a curve. But I appreciate everybody. Pretty solid scores. I think if you average the 2 joke of the weeks that I've done,
pretty solid.
Probably the highest
Pretty
rating
solid.
that has ever been accumulated.
Yeah, and we went into this thinking like if you bat 300, it's pretty solid. So you're like batting 1,000.
Batting 1,000, put me in the Hall of Fame. Joke of the week, Hall of Fame.
Sam in Omaha, 8 for Kyle.
All the texts flying
0
in.
for Father Coody. Just kidding. I hope he calls back. I know, Dad. What the heck? We'll get to break. Maybe he'll call back. If not,
He's running out of time here in the first
I know.
hour.
We don't, because in the second hour we don't have time because we got a lot to get to in the second
That's
hour.
true.
So, he's
Papa Coody said, nope.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the Ryder Cup. Leave me alone.
Oh, Tim in Minnesota, 9 on the first. Got to give you a 4 on the second.
Okay, I should have stopped
Or
while I was ahead.
incomplete. It needs further elaboration.
It wasn't very good. The delivery was terrible.
You should have just stopped at all shucks, because then your scores probably would have been higher.
Yeah.
But
it's unfortunate. I got greedy.
All right, we got to get to a break. Maybe my dad will call back here in the time.
He probably won't.
When we come back on
I
the
think
air.
he's,
I don't know.
I think he's
Maybe his
somewhere
phone's
else
dead.
having fun.
All right, we're back to wrap up hour number 1 next.
1 year, 0 interest. With a qualifying seed purchase from Central Valley Ag by October 17th, you can unlock 0% financing for 1 full year on seed and crop protection. The first 10 growers to enroll this week in the CVA Go Early Seed Program will receive 100 units of free Saltro soybean seed treatment. Details at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. With Allo plus DirecTV plus Allo Mobile, you get the ultimate teamwork. Internet you can count on, TV you can stream anytime, anywhere, and nationwide coverage you can depend on. Bench the other guys and team up with the official Internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers.
Visit a participating AGCO dealer between September 8th and October 31st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Nebraska-Iowa football game on November 28th in Lincoln, plus a pregame tailgate experience. Don't miss your shot to be a part of the action. See True Turf and Ag in Osmond, Columbus, and Fall City or Osceola Implement to enter. It's easy, it's free, and you could be cheering on the Huskers in person this season. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole, Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
Set, hike, When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
Welcome back. Final segment here of hour number 1, this Friday night edition of Sports Nightly. Jack is not answering, so not sure what's going on. Might have to try it again next week. I don't know.
Dad needs a talking to because
I know
this isn't good.
I literally set it up like he's going to answer, and he's not even answering. He usually he texted me a photo from there today too, so I don't know. Who knows? He's gonna hear about it after the show because we don't have time in hour number 2 because we got some picks. Somebody had a bad week last week.
Who was that?
You quit again.
I might quit this week if things go south. Things are sure in life: death, taxes, and me quitting the picks.
My dad's calling. Call him back, Josh. Dad, we're gonna call you on the Sports Nightly line. Okay, bye.
He's only got a few minutes until the end of the hour.
I know we got 3 minutes here.
He's gonna have to do a quick roundup.
Here we go.
You reached Jack Coody. I'm probably on the green.
Are you kidding me?
I think he called you just to hang up on the air twice.
413-2400.
Please.
Oh my
gosh.
Need the
update.
We're like 2 minutes.
We need the Ryder Cup.
Come on.
He's our reporter on the ground.
Dad.
Hello.
You're live on the air right now.
Oh, good. That's a lot of pressure. We'll see if I can handle it.
We listened to your voicemail twice that you're putting out on the green, but I don't think you're putting out on the green because you're in New York.
I'm in New York, but my phone was on silent because I've been on the golf course all day.
Well, how was it?
It's unbelievable. I wish we were doing better because, we got them outnumbered. But, man, Bethpage, for one thing, is a beautiful golf course. I mean, it's just, there's no water on it, but, man, it's beautiful.
Where did you have a hole that you were on, or did you walk around, or what?
Well, we walked around for a little while, and then we kind of sat by a hole, and it's kind of crazy because, I've been to pro golf tournaments before, and, the whole course is open, and you got maybe 55,000 people scattered out trying to watch 18 holes. But at the Ryder Cup, you got 55,000 people trying to watch 4 holes because there's just four groups going at once.
True. On
today and tomorrow. Now, Sunday will be a little better because there'll be 12 groups, so it's kind of hard to see. I think tomorrow our game plan is to get in there and find us grandstands because they got the good thing, they got big screens all over the course, and you can find a grandstand and watch it on the big screen till they come to your hole.
By the way, here's Kyle. Introducing you to Kyle. We got 1 minute left
It's
here.
good to talk to you real quick. We have a few seconds here. I know this was a bucket list item for Jess, and here you are at the Ryder Cup, and here she is sitting next to me, so she feels very hurt.
Well, I hate that, but like I told her little brother, they're young. They've got a lot of chances left. I'm getting up there in years. I don't.
Good answer. I like it.
Right.
Wait your turn, Jess.
And Jack will be here for the next football game. He's coming to Michigan State. So
look forward to meeting you in person.
Dad, thanks for answering. You made me look bad for a segment, but all is forgiven.
Well, I can't. Like I said, I had to turn my phone on silent on the golf course, and I forgot to turn it back on loud.
All right, have fun tomorrow.
All right, see ya. Bye.
Bye. My dad, Jack Coody. He came through.
Before the clocks hit 0. At the buzzer.
It is literally at the buzzer. He was a basketball coach, too. All right, that's going to do it for hour number 1. Hour number 2, up next.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
1 year, 0 interest. With a qualifying seed purchase from Central Valley Ag by October 17th, you can unlock 0% financing for 1 full year on seed and crop protection. The first 10 growers to enroll this week in the CVA Go Early Seed program will receive 100 units of free Saltro soybean seed treatment. Details at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
Defend your network like a champ with Hamilton Business Technologies. From end zones to endpoints, our cybersecurity solutions keep your business and your data protected from online threats. We offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and experts who monitor it all for you. You keep doing what you do best, and we will protect the rest. Hamilton Business Technologies, the official business IT partner of the Huskers. Visit us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Good evening, I'm Josh Hilkeman, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. Husker Cross Country competed in the Gans Creek Classic earlier today in Columbia, Missouri. Both the men and women finished in 16th place in the team competition. On the women's side, the top individual for Nebraska was Allie Bainbridge, who took 34th place, while Rico Leonard was the men's top finisher in 31st place. And some college football tonight. Number 8, Florida State on the road against Virginia. And Virginia just took a 14-0 lead over the Seminoles, 9 minutes to go in the first half. Meanwhile, later on tonight, TCU is on the road against Arizona State, kickoff at 8 o'clock. And at 9:30, Houston faces Oregon State in Corvallis. Our sports ticker is brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit StonebridgeIWM.com. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
2 wide each way. Underwood out of the gun. Marshall, the running back right. Takes the wayside snap. 4-man twisting rush. Underwood under pressure. Ball's loose. It's picked up. Deshaun Singleton was in the area. Beanbags on the turf. They stripped it. Black shirts get it done and get the takeaway. Snap to Raiola. Rolls right. Looks downfield to the numbers. Raiola plants. Launches. Far right side of the end zone. Jump ball. Was it caught? Was it caught?
Unreal.
Touchdown! Huskers! Jakari Barney on a prayer! 52 yards!
Line drive serve is in. Pass by Harper. Set middle. Rebecca for the match. She got it! Call the grand kid. Nebraska wins another in 5 over Creighton. The Big Red remains perfect. 9-0 in 2025.
Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Coody and Kyle Crooks on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of Sports Nightly, our final hour of the week here on this Friday evening with Kyle Crooks. I'm Jessica Coody. We've got a football game coming up tonight. We're going to make some picks here in just a minute. So got still lots to come here in this hour. But so looking at the slate this weekend, which we're going to dive into a lot of the bigger matchups, but which game are you most intrigued by? I mean, I know there's some obvious ones, but I feel like there's a couple games that starting off maybe we'll learn a little bit more about teams and where they're at this weekend.
You know, the obvious ones being Alabama, Georgia, Oregon, Penn State. Some of the other ones that I think stand out to me, I think LSU, Ole Miss is probably in that obvious category. How good is Indiana?
Yeah.
How do you double up the performance you had at home against Illinois? You go on the road against Iowa. How does Iowa transfer sort of what they did offensively, some of the success they had offensively at Rutgers? How does that transfer over? So how good is Indiana? If they're truly a top 10 team, which I think they are, they'll go on the road and they'll win that game pretty comfortably against Iowa because I think they're the better team. I think one that I look at as interesting is Washington at home against Ohio State. I think that started out as a double-digit spread. It's been working itself down a little bit. I think Washington's a really good football team. It's a really tough environment to play in, so they'll play Ohio State, number 1 in the country. That's a 2:30 kickoff. I think that's an interesting spot for Washington. I think they can make that one really interesting. Can they beat Ohio State? Probably not. But can it be a game in the fourth quarter? Possibly. So 2 games I look at for being interesting outside of the obvious would be, can Indiana establish itself as a top 10 team on the road at Iowa? And can Washington make it interesting at home against number 1 Ohio State?
I'll tell you the one I'm most intrigued by. 11 a.m. on Fox, the USC-Illinois matchup. How is Illinois going to respond? Were they that bad with the spanking that they took last week to Indiana? How will they respond? But also, I'm intrigued to see USC, obviously, with Lincoln Riley and how his teams have typically been. That was kind of the question. Are his teams physically going to be able to match up in the Big Ten? Now that they've been in here a year, I know they played Michigan State last week, but Illinois is the definition of what a Big Ten team is and the physicality. How is USC going to be able to handle that? So I'm intrigued by that to see how Illinois, was it all smoke and mirrors, going into the season. They were a team that we talked about a lot in the summer. When you first got here, they were the kind of the darling a little bit. Everybody was picking them to maybe be a team that could be, I think Joel Klatt had them as a fringe college football playoff team. So how did they bounce back and respond at home? And what is USC? How can they match up against a big physical Big Ten team? Yeah,
I don't think Indiana is as good as we saw last week. I don't think Illinois is as bad as we saw last week. That being said, USC, I think, was a 6 or so point favorite, and we'll get into it in our picks, but that certainly is an interesting matchup. I think Auburn, too, on the road at Texas A&M. Auburn, of course, losing at Oklahoma. They didn't get the benefit. They kind of got screwed on a call there, but I think Auburn can make that an interesting game at Texas A&M. That would be a top 10 win on the road for the Tigers, and they're a much better team than we thought coming in. A lot of intrigue. I remember in the summer this weekend being probably the more interesting and stacked college football slate. Luckily enough for us, we have a bye week, so we get to sit from college game day on until midnight and watch all these games until we get back into the throes of things with homecoming in Michigan State. So we get to sit back and watch all this, but this is the most stacked slate we've had all year.
Do you have a plan of attack for how you watch games all day, every day?
So I got the YouTube TV, no free plugs, but we'll give them one there. So I got the quad box.
The 4-box, yeah.
I got the 4-box going. What's good now is you can actually pick your multi-view, which you never used to be able to do. Usually it was
just the games that were how they grouped them was what you had to go with.
Yeah, and they never used to do that for the NFL Sunday Ticket until this year as well, where you actually get to pick your multi-view, and they say some are still not available where you're able to have the exact 4 games you want, but for the most part they are. So, that's a chance with the 4-box to have just about all of these big games on TV at once. So really, really exciting, modern technology.
I do not have YouTube TV, but I have a smaller TV. I think I could bring in and set up next to my big TV and then get
You're
the
going multi-TV
laptop out, because I do want to watch college football, but I am all in on the Ryder Cup. So I got to watch that all day tomorrow. It's going to be a big day for Team USA because Europe came out today and took the lead, made a statement. So USA's got to bounce back tomorrow. So I will be watching.
What gets what? Is the Ryder Cup on the laptop or one of the TVs?
Well, it's all day, so I might be just checking it on the morning because I'm the 11 a.m. and it starts way earlier than football too. So it starts again at like 7 a.m. But once we see where we're at 11 a.m., then I might put football on, and then if it gets intriguing, I'll flip golf over. But
okay, so the timing works out pretty well.
Yeah,
to have everything.
So before we get to the picks, did want to give a shout out though. Every single week the guys in the chat play along with us and make their picks as well. So the weekly winners last week for the guys in the YouTube chat, Shane, Dryce, Michael, and Crypto all went 7-3. So better than you, Kyle.
Than me. Everybody on planet Earth.
Wasn't that hard to be better than Kyle last
week? We're better
week.
Than me. That was awful.
Overall, the leaders in the chat, Dryce and Shane at 27-13. That's solid. That's like
pretty good.
Our intern status over here. The interns are leading the way for us.
As long as I beat Searles this week, I'm good. That's the only one I want to beat. Everyone else is fine. I root for. Searles, I need to beat.
Got like the rivalry going. I'm glad it's you because it used to be me. So I'm glad he's.
I'm glad to take it on. Yeah. Luckily, I'm not an elk. Then he'd really track me down.
Well, he hasn't had any luck with elks recently, so you might be safe being an elk. Can't wait to chat with him when he gets back off the grid and see if he actually got one this year, because normally it's everybody that's with him that gets them. So, all right. So coming up next, we're going to make our weekly picks. It's a fun slate. So we're going to dive into that, how everybody did last week as well. So that is coming up next here on Sports Nightly. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose Chiropractic First for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Experience exceptional quality and lasting value at Woodhouse Toyota. Lease the 2025 Toyota Camry LE forward-wheel drive for $349 a month for 36 months and 10,000 miles per year. Visit us in-store off Highway 281 in Grand Island or online at woodhousetoyota.com. Woodhouse Toyota. Let's go places. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra. Security deposit waived. $2,499 down plus first payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Stock number GT250285. Offer expires September 30th, 2025. See dealer for details.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole. Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive. From enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
At Hogemeyer, we're raising the bar on yield performance, bringing world-class traits and genetics to these local fields with the exceptional corn rootworm control and proven powerful yields of new Vorce seed-enlist corn. The unsurpassed flexibility and protection against above-ground pests with PowerCore Enlist corn, and other next-gen corn hybrids built to perform and boost your yields. It's time to raise a better crop. View Hogemeyer products at therightseed.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
At Hogemeyer, we're raising the bar on yield performance, bringing world-class traits and genetics to these local fields with the exceptional corn rootworm control and proven powerful yields of new Vorce seed-enlist corn. The unsurpassed flexibility and protection against above-ground pests with PowerCore Enlist corn, and other next-gen corn hybrids built to perform and boost your yields. It's time to raise a better crop. View Hogemeyer products at therightseed.com.
Preparation is the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pre-game routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole. Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive. From enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
Over the last few years, we've redefined what working remotely means, and so is the Ford F-150. Bring your desk wherever you go with an available flat interior work surface. Drop down the available tailgate work surface to get it all done. And plug in what you need outside the cab with available Pro Power on board. How's that for upping your productivity? Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Get F-150 for 0.9% plus $3,250 cash, or lease one for $499 a month and $0 down. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by, who's going to do it?
Akrs.
The Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. It is time to make our picks for the week. Jeremiah Searles off the grid, so he will not be participating. He did send me in his picks. Look, his handwriting was terrible, so if I read it wrong, it's on him, so he can blame me next week. But I do have his picks. Hopefully he comes back and has an elk to report, Kyle. He's gone every week. Every fall he goes off the grid for a week to try to go elk hunting. And everybody he's with, it seems like, gets an elk except for him, so hopefully he's having better luck this time.
When I look at Searles, I just think elk hunting.
Yeah.
Just the
All
way
hunting.
Just the way he pass blocks and just offensive line guy, I just think elk.
Sometimes he'll come into the studio to record stuff just straight off of the deer stand in his, full-on camo. Doesn't he, Josh?
Yes.
Yeah.
He does.
So, yes, he is definitely a hunter. His kids will eat all of the game stuff, so we'll see if they got one and what they have cooking up there at the Searles household once they get the meat. But, so on that note, no Jeremiah Searles. We do have his picks, so he will still be playing along, just will not be part of this segment here tonight. But let's go back and review, Kyle, last week's picks and how we all did. By the way, Camden Cone, Josh Helkman here with us for this segment once again. But so Josh, big week for you. You went up the upstream on a couple picks and it paid off for you.
I did, and I was just telling you before we went on that I almost took Maryland over Wisconsin. I had it written down, and then it got to me, and I was like, nope, I can't do it. So that would have been another one that would have been in my favor. Needed to be more brave.
And that wasn't even close.
I know.
Yeah.
It was. But
so Josh goes 9-2. Camden and the interns go 8-3. Nick and myself go 7-4, Searles 5-6, and Kyle 4-7.
Did you really have to leave me for last?
Well, that's how it goes. 4-7.
I see what she's doing.
I always do that. Whoever finishes last.
I see what she's doing.
You know what I mean? So overall standings, we have the interns once again. I mean, gosh, they just staying at the top.
Yeah.
Interns in Camden, 30-19 overall. I am in second, 2 games behind, 28-21. Josh now into third. You were at the bottom. Now you're middle of the pack. 27-22. Nick and Searles tied at 25-23, and Kyle, you've now moved to the bottom. You're 24-25.
Enjoy it now. That's all I got to say. Everybody have fun now. Enjoy it. Have your laughs. Have your tea together in the corner, laughing, pointing, and laughing at me. You can do whatever you want. Look, long season.
Yeah. Searles called me during the Florida game. Was like, can't wait to give you a hard time. But he actually didn't give you much of a hard time last week.
No, we had some texts back and forth, and it looked like for a split second, Florida maybe had a shot to get back in the game, and then that ended pretty quickly.
Well, typically when Josh, has the picks at the beginning of the week, a lot of it is the close spreads and, games that might come down to the wire. But, boy, we had some blowouts last week on some of those close spreads. Kyle, what was maybe the most surprising score for you other than the 26-7 Miami, Florida
I would say probably not having the games right in front. I would say Maryland, just talking about that, because that was a game going into it where you say, okay, if Wisconsin doesn't win this game, where are the wins coming from? And the fact that they were on their home field and got blown out was pretty shocking.
Josh, you picked Texas Tech, and they end up smoking Utah 34-10. And, there's been a lot of talk, obviously, with the money that they have invested, but I thought Utah was pretty good, but maybe that speaks to how bad UCLA is.
That's probably part of it. I do think that Texas Tech is legit. Like they paid a lot of money, and I think that their defense specifically is really good. So,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I think that that's their Texas Tech. It was a close game for a little bit, but they were able to pull away.
I missed the most shocking result of them all.
What's that?
The 63-10.
Yeah.
Well, I was getting there next.
That's what I was going to say. That one.
Indiana just spanks Illinois 63-10.
Like what? That was one of the craziest things. You all of a sudden you look up and they just beat down. And so Indiana, and it's on our picks, they have Iowa this week, and Signetti came out and said, well, we know we're going to have a better opponent this week, essentially burying Illinois. So, man, that was That was a top 10 team. Going into that
definitely
game.
thought that was going to be closer.
And I was the only one that picked Indiana in the moment, and I was shocked by that. The interns did pick them as well. They picked the Hoosiers, but still, like the fact that nobody else went with them was a little bit surprising.
Just wasn't sure. I think it was the same thing that happened last year. We just didn't really know about Indiana, and then now obviously they're proving that they might be for real again this year. So that was definitely a big shocker. Central Florida, I'm gonna do it. Central Florida beats North Carolina 34-9. They did not like that being called that, so they made sure to announce that. And
I think Bill was calling them Central. He wasn't even throwing Florida.
Yeah.
That's a dig.
And Arizona State, Camden, you and I had that one right. They end up beating Baylor 27-24. So there you go. Bit of a different coming out of it. Just different kind of overall outcomes, I guess, than what I expected going into it. But hey, that's why we love the sport. So let's get to this week's picks, and we got one tonight here coming up right after we get off the show, 8:00 tonight on Fox. Number 24 TCU at Arizona State back on the picks again. So Arizona State started out as a 2.5-point favorite. They are now a 3.5-point favorite going into this one. Josh, you were the weekly winner, so you get to pick first.
Right? Yeah. So Arizona State was in our picks last week, and I went against them. I picked Baylor. I feel like they got a little bit lucky in that game, pulling away with the win. So I haven't forgiven them for winning that yet. I'll take TCU in this game.
Okay, so I am going to look. They were good to me last week. I'll roll with them again at home. Just a slight favorite, so I'm going Arizona State. Searles is also going Arizona State as well. Camden.
I'm going to go with Arizona State. Picked them last week, and again, they won. Doesn't matter how they won, but they won. They were good to me, so I'll do it again.
Yep.
I'm going with Josh here. I'm going TCU. They're in the top 25 for the first time in a couple years. This is a huge game for them in Big 12 play. Give me TCU.
All right. Number 21 USC at number 23 now Illinois. They fell quite a bit. 11 a.m. on Fox. USC coming in as a 6.5-point favorite. I was still pretty shocked by that. I mean, I know Illinois did not have a good showing against Indiana. This one was a tough one for me just because I'm still not sure USC is going to be able to match the physicality of Illinois. I think Illinois is going to be pretty ticked off. I went back and forth, but I think I'm going to go with the home team in Illinois to bounce back despite how bad they got smoked last week. So I got the Fighting Illini.
I'm going USC. I think Illinois is still going to be kind of reeling a little bit from last week's loss, and even though it's got to be closer than the Indiana-Illinois game, I think USC ultimately can pull it out.
I'm going to go with USC on the road as well. I think that's a loss that, you could recover from, or it could tank your season the way that goes. USC, I think, is the better team, and I think they'll show that. Give me USC.
I have a gut feeling that Illinois is going to bounce back, and it's going to be a close game. I think that they're a lot better than what they showed last week against Indiana. I think they just got down and it kind of spiraled on them. So I'm going to go with the Illini to bounce back in this one and get the win at home.
Searles is with you guys. He's got USC, so should have mentioned that earlier. Rutgers at Minnesota, 11 a.m. on the Big Ten Network. Minnesota coming in a 4.5-point favorite. Camden, you're up first in this one.
I went back and forth on this one. I didn't really see anything if Darius Taylor was back for Minnesota or not. So that was kind of weird that there had been no announcement on that. But I liked how Rutgers looked last week against Iowa. That's a game that they easily could have won. So I'm going to stick with the Scarlet Knights, and I think they get it done at Minnesota.
Kyle?
Yeah, I think I'm still on that train. I think eventually it'll hit with Rutgers. I think that was a game. They gave up the opening kickoff for a touchdown, too. It was right away. Iowa was up 6-0, but Rutgers outplayed them for a lot of that game. It's very tough on the road. I probably should take Minnesota, but I'll take Rutgers.
Yeah, I agree with what you guys. It feels like a classic Big Ten slugfest kind of game, but we thought that was going to be the same again with Iowa and Rutgers last week. It wasn't. I'm going to take the Gophers to get it done at home. I think that they have the week of rest after the bye week, so I'll take the Gophers.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with you guys on this one with Rutgers. Searles does as well. He hardly ever picks against Minnesota. He's now done it twice against Cal and now here at Rutgers. So you're swimming upstream, Josh, on that one.
All right, see how it goes.
Duke at Syracuse, 11 a.m. on the ACC Network. Duke, a 6.5-point favorite. Kyle, you are up first in this one.
Doesn't this feel like an upset spot for Syracuse after beating up on Clemson? It's hard for me, though, to go against Syracuse the way that they're trending right now. At home, I'll have to go with Syracuse.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're coming off the big win against Clemson. They're going to be breaking in a new quarterback, though. So with that being said, and I think that coming off the big win, there might be a little bit of a letdown. I'm going Duke.
I'm also going Duke.
All right.
Camden?
That was quick.
Oh, I should say Searles is with Syracuse as well.
Okay.
I'm also Syracuse.
Okay. All right. How about this one? Cincinnati at Kansas, also 11 a.m. on TNT. KU is a 4.5-point favorite. Josh, you're back to first.
Yeah, Kansas is playing a lot better the last couple weeks than they started the season. They kept it close against Mizzou a couple weeks ago, and then last week they destroyed West Virginia. Big win there. I think the Jayhawks take this one.
Yeah, I mean, we all know Searles and I are big fans of that quarterback, Jalen Daniels, and I think he's just a lot to handle. We've both got rock chalk in this one.
I also got Kansas at home.
Yeah, give me Kansas at home. I think they're the better team.
Clean sweep for Kansas. All right, Indiana at Iowa, 2:30 on Peacock. Indiana started off 7.5-point favorite. It's up to 8.5. I'm up first. I'm not picking against Indiana this week. Boy, I am buying what they're selling after last week. So give me the Hoosiers. And Searles also has Indiana.
Yeah, this is a game that, I mean, you see Iowa, and honestly, it's probably going to be much closer than it should be. But I still got Indiana, even though Iowa's tough to play at home, and they'll probably make it a game. Still got the Hoosiers.
Yeah, what's funny is the way Iowa's offense performed last week against Rutgers and how that turned out to be a high-scoring game. But Indiana's one of the better teams in the country. They're a top 10 team. Iowa, it's not anywhere near Indiana's level. Give me Indiana.
All right, Josh.
I'm tempted to take Iowa at home. I'm tempted.
Do it.
I didn't know.
Do it.
But I didn't write it down, so it wasn't like I was that tempted. Indiana was just too impressive this last week. Like I can't go against them. So I don't think Coach Siggs will allow a letdown. So
okay. All right. Clean sweep for Indiana there. Number 4, LSU at number 13, Ole Miss, 2:30 on ABC. Ole Miss is a 1.5 favorite. I was kind of surprised by that, that they were the favorite. I know they're at home, but I really thought LSU would come in favorite in this. But Camden, you get to go first on this one.
I'm going to go Ole Miss. I like them at home. There's a reason they're favored. Hopefully. That's my logic anyways. So I'll roll with Ole Miss.
I think on the road, essentially what that's telling me is this is going to be a toss-up game just because it's in Oxford. I don't think LSU's offense can keep up with Ole Miss in this game. Give me Ole Miss at home.
Yeah, I'm going with you guys. I'm going to go off of the Rebels quarterback, Trinidad Chambliss. It's a great name. He's been playing really impressive the last couple of weeks, so cool story coming from Division II. But, I think he leads Ole Miss to the W.
Also announced this week, Lane Kiffin's daughter is dating a linebacker for LSU. Maybe some inside info there.
Yeah, Lane said take the over in that game, so apparently he wants to score some points against LSU.
Man, I really thought more people would pick LSU, and I don't know. I think their defense is pretty solid. So Searles has LSU, so I'm not going with him, but I don't want to go with the same picks as you guys. So I'm going to go LSU, and Searles is also going LSU. All right. Auburn at Texas A&M, 2:30 on ESPN. A&M is a 6.5-point favorite. Kyle, you're back to first on this one.
I like A&M a lot. I think Auburn's a team that's probably better than I thought coming into the year, but give me A&M. SEC at home, it's hard for me to pick against a home team in the SEC if they're somewhat fairly evenly matched.
Yeah, those are kind of the things that I wrote down too, Kyle. Some of those same things. Auburn is better than what I thought coming in. I picked against them twice so far this season on picks. I'm going to pick against them a third time. Give me the Aggies.
All right. I am going with A&M as well. I was also impressed with how Auburn played Oklahoma at Oklahoma as well. So they kind of got some points for me, but I'm not going to pick against the Aggies, and I think they've got some momentum going into this one. Camden?
Yeah, A&M's coming off a bye, aren't they? I think they are.
Sure.
So. I'm going with A&M.
Well, their last game must have been the Notre Dame
one.
Yeah.
So that was 2 weeks ago, yeah.
Searles also has A&M as well. All right, how about the big one in the Big Ten? 6:30 on NBC. Number 6, Oregon at number 3, Penn State. Penn State is a 3.5-point favorite. And Josh, lucky you get to pick first in this one.
Thanks a lot. Hard hard for me to pick against Penn State. They have a veteran team, whiteout at home, night game. But I think that Oregon is the better team. Like, I think that they have the better players overall. I think for sure by the end of the season they're going to be the better team. So I'm going to go with the Ducks and hopefully I'm thinking that most everybody else is going to go Penn State. So I'm going to try to pick up a point.
I know Camden's got some stats.
Oh, yeah, he's got the inside info.
This was his Blitz interview for the week, so he's we know where he's going, but he's also got some pretty cool stats to go along with this as well. But listen, you guys know me. Penn State is a team for 4 years now I don't pick against, especially at home, a whiteout. So give me the Nittany Lions to win this. I just don't know about Oregon yet. I mean, I know they've got some talent. They reload, but I still am not all aboard the Duck train yet. So give me Penn State. Camden?
What'd Searles do?
Searles also went with Penn State.
Okay. I'm going Penn State. Shocker. Again, I did have my Blitz interview.
What's Camden's overall picks
when I do the Blitz?
When he's picking his Blitz
I'll
interview?
have to go back and do that research. I'll come back with that stat
we
next
need
week.
that stat for next week. Okay.
But talked to Corey Geiger, and he said that he thinks that Oregon may be the better team, like Josh was saying, but Penn State's coming off a bye. They've been really prepping for this game all season, right? They've played no one in the first 3 games.
Zero. Nobody.
So literally, you can prep for this game for 3 weeks. It's the whiteout, and Corey said that he thinks the whiteout's worth about 7 points. So he said that's that big of a deal. That he believes.
That's a lot of points.
But
7 points against maybe I don't know.
Well, it's typically 3, right? So you give him another 4. So I'm going Penn State.
All great numbers, all great stats.
Is he back in the locker?
He's out of the locker. We're letting him. He's cool again.
Okay.
He's allowed to go to lunch and sit at the table and order his tater tots. We all had tater tots at school, right? Sure. School lunch.
Only if there's ketchup.
Lots of ketchup.
Okay. I am going to go with.
Trying to rattle him.
You can't rattle me because I'm taking the Ducks. Quack, quack, quack. They're the better team. Dante Moore, I think he's going to show out, have a big performance. We have not talked a lot about Oregon, again, because who they've played or whatever. Again, Penn State hasn't played anybody either. But I think this is a week we start talking more about Oregon as a national champion.
Okay. All right. Last one, number 17, Bama at Georgia, number 5, 5th ranked team in the country. Georgia, it started off 2.5 favorite, now up to 3.5 favorite, 6:30 on ABC. Kyle educated me a couple weeks ago. You do not bet against Georgia.
I was just about to say, you know my slogan.
So I'm going to go with the Dogs. Give me the Dogs. And Searles has Georgia as well.
I also have Georgia at home.
UGA, between the hedges, place that nobody wins. Sorry.
Yeah, Alabama's just going to have to prove it to me a little bit more. Maybe they'll get to a point where they can beat a team like Georgia, but for right now, I have no reason to go against the Dogs, and so I'm not going to.
I say that, and it'll be a 3-possession game in the third quarter. Alabama's in front, and we're in the group chat like, what the heck's going on? So
at least we're all going down together in that one.
True.
And I'm going to call Searles out. He's not here. He asked you for the Husker question this week.
He did. He texted me, and I was like, there's no game. It's a bye week, Searles. So no, yeah.
So no Husker question, but hey, that was a pretty solid pick last. So it was the punts.
It's 325.5 yards was the line for total punting yards.
Archie
it was
did his part.
Yes.
361.
Yes,
so
he
if
did.
you remember last week, I did the math. I said that there was going to be 8 punts in the game. There was 8, and it was just a matter of getting the yards, and Archie did his job.
I looked at half. I was telling Josh, I looked at half and I thought, oh, we're looking pretty good on that. But then Archie bombed 2 punts in the second half. It's hard because you're you want to be mad, Archie, you're going against the point. But it's also great to see. It was really good to see him out there and doing his thing. And I know his folks are happy to see him out there too.
He's a difference maker.
He is.
He truly is.
He's going to keep being a weapon.
Yeah, and he can use both feet. We know that, and just the sort of that Aussie style boot that he provides, and in the Big Ten, especially when that wind's swirling at Memorial Stadium, you got to have sort of that low trajectory. He can kick it different ways, and he's a difference maker.
All right, good stuff. And as always, our our Big Ten picks brought to you by Choices Treatment Center. If you or someone you know is struggling with problem gambling, free treatment is available in Nebraska. Call Choices 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300 for more information. Offices in Lincoln and Columbus. All right, we're back with more of the show coming up after this.
You're not at your house. You're at a lavish seaside estate. You're not walking the dog. You're hunting for clues in an Agatha Christie mystery. See it differently with BritBox. Stream an endlessly entertaining collection of British TV, including new original series, Ludwig, starring David Mitchell.
Bit awkward, really. I think I might just have solved a murder.
And Outrageous, a scandalous true story.
Seems there's a political extremist in every family these days.
See it differently when you stream the best of British TV with BritBox.
Step into a new era of luxury at Infinity of Omaha. Browse our inventory and enjoy special financing and limited time offers happening now. Receive a retail bonus of $8,000 on all 2025 Infinity QX60 models. Visit our showroom or shop online today at infinityofomaha.com. With approved credit, tax title license extra, $299 doc fee due at signing. VIN number SC333661. Offer expires September 30th, 2025. See dealer for details.
Set. Hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Exarban Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
At Hogemeyer, we're raising the bar on yield performance, bringing world-class traits and genetics to these local fields with the exceptional corn rootworm control and proven powerful yields of new Vorceed-less corn. The unsurpassed flexibility and protection against above-ground pests with PowerCore-less corn, and other next-gen corn hybrids built to perform and boost your yields. It's time to raise a better crop. View Hogemeyer products at therightseed.com.
Defend your network like a champ with Hamilton Business Technologies. From end zones to endpoints, our cybersecurity solutions keep your business and your data protected from online threats. We offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and experts who monitor it all for you. You keep doing what you do best, and we will protect the rest. Hamilton Business Technologies, the official business IT partner of the Huskers. Visit us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
1 year, 0 interest. With a qualifying seed purchase from Central Valley Ag by October 17th, you can unlock 0% financing for 1 full year on seed and crop protection. The first 10 growers to enroll this week in the CVA Go Early Seed Program will receive 100 units of free Saltro soybean seed treatment. Details at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage. It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3, Wildcat!
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
See Shelter Agent John Austin in Fairbury, Rhonda Miller in Alliance, or Stephanie Culver in Holdridge today.
Welcome back to the Akrs Broadcast Center. I'm Bella Pitts, and this is the Big Ten Blitz presented by Groundworks, the official foundation company of the Huskers.
This is the Big Ten Blitz.
Here to talk about the Illini is Steve Kelly from the Illini Radio Network. So Indiana had a big win over you guys last weekend. What do you think was some major areas that the team needed to work on?
How about everything, Bella? That was a blowout loss over in Bloomington, 63-10. Nothing went right for the Fighting Illini, who were ranked number 9 in the country at the time. Maybe a little bit overrated, as it turns out. But they fell behind early, and it just built up. They had trouble protecting the quarterback, Luke Altmaier. They had 20 missed tackles in the ball game, so it was a runaway locomotive for the Hoosiers. And I'm not sure it gets any easier with number 21 USC coming to Champaign on Saturday.
What are some guys you want us to watch out for this week against USC?
Well, Luke Altmaier, I mentioned him. He's the quarterback. He's got to get things going. He's off to a decent start. He's thrown for almost 900 yards and 9 touchdowns. But Illinois' offensive line has had trouble protecting him. He's been sacked 15 times in 4 games, including 7 last week. Hank Beatty is a wide receiver that has played well. He's also a special teams guy, a punt returner. But defensively, they need some guys to step up. They've got some preseason All-Big Ten players, and Gabe Akrs, who's a rush defender, and Xavier Scott, although Scott is out for most of the rest of the season after having a foot surgery earlier today.
How do you see the game playing out this weekend?
Well, USC comes in a 7-point favorite on the road. They're playing at 9 o'clock body time for Southern Cal as they travel east, but got to get used to that. The teams in this part of the country have to go there from time to time, too. Illinois needs to keep it close, and hopefully a sellout crowd will help them along. It's homecoming weekend here in Champaign-Urbana, but Illinois definitely an underdog, and they need a bounce-back game. We'll have to see how it plays out.
You can watch Illini versus USC on this Saturday at 11 a.m. Central Time on Fox. Thank you, Steve.
No problem, Bella. Thank you.
Now let's send it over to Camden Cohn with Penn State.
Thanks, Bella. Here to talk about the Nittany Lions is Corey Geiger, the host of Sports Central in Pennsylvania. Well, Corey, Penn State is 3-0 after dominant wins over Nevada, FIU, and Villanova. They're coming off of a bye this past week. So what were you able to take away from the first 3 games of the season?
Not a whole heck of a lot. I mean, really, you're playing significantly weaker opponents. And quite frankly, Penn State played down to those opponents for most of the 3 games. So a lot of people here wonder, well, is this Penn State team really as good as we thought? But at the same time, look, you can try to get up for every single game. But when you're playing that level of opponent, you know, the human nature element of it does kind of come into play. Penn State was never challenged in those games. The defense was never challenged in those games. But the offense struggled, surprisingly, quite frankly, during stretches of all 3 of the non-conference games. So that's really the big question here is Penn State, you know, are they really as good as people had thought and maybe hoped they'd be? Or did they just play down to these opponents and now they're going to be ready to go, you know, once the big games start to come in?
When you talk about Penn State offensively, it starts with quarterback Drew Aller. How high are the expectations for Aller as we move into conference play?
Well, look, Drew Aller's been a gigantic disappointment so far. I mean, you're talking about a guy that people thought could win the Heisman, top 5, top 10 draft pick. He hasn't looked anything remotely close to any of that stuff. So again, I reiterate the level of competition you're playing. Are they showing the entire offense against those teams in the non-conference? So Drew played well last year against Oregon in the Big Ten championship game. He has not always played well in big games against Ohio State, Michigan. He's really struggled in some of these games. So, yeah, there's a tremendously high expectation for Drew Aller, a senior, a guy that people think it has otherworldly abilities and could be a star in the NFL someday. Well, it's time to prove it, really. So this is the kind of game in a whiteout, tremendous atmosphere at Beaver Stadium. There's a whole lot on the line here for Drew Aller, for James Franklin, for Penn State, for the perception nationally of what Penn State is. Is it going to be a team forever that can just beat everybody that they're supposed to beat and then they lose these big games? Or can they finally win a game like this and kind of start to put that perception aside?
Well, this week, it's one of the games of the season as 3rd-ranked Penn State hosts 6th-ranked Oregon for their annual whiteout game. I know most of our listeners have probably seen videos from past whiteout games, but could you try and describe the environment for those that haven't?
There are a lot of great environments around college football. Nebraska has one. There's LSU. There's Alabama. There's lots of great places. But when you talk about 107,000 people at night, all white, most of the crowd probably drunk, because they've been there all day long. They're fired up. I've been to a bunch of whiteouts. The main thing is it gets so loud. It is so much of a tremendous home field advantage. It might be the best home field advantage, not only in college sports, but in all of sports. It is just that significant of a factor. And so I would tell you, probably under any other circumstance, I would pick Oregon to win this game. I think Oregon might be the better team. On a neutral field, in a bowl game, in a playoff setting, what have you, I think I would probably pick Oregon. But I've been to enough of the whiteouts and seen how much they impact Penn State, even in some losses, like to Ohio State, where Penn State plays way above its head at times. It's hard to pick against Penn State in a whiteout. So I tell people I think the whiteout is worth 7 to 10 points at least in most games, and quite frankly, it can be worth a lot more in some games.
This is by far the stiffest test that Penn State and Oregon have faced this season. Are you at all worried about the easy non-conference before a big game like this?
Well, absolutely. There's no question. They have not played anybody remotely close to this. One factor here that I will mention, these teams just played in the Big Ten championship game. Now, some personnel gone, Dylan Gabriel gone. Jim Knowles, who was at Ohio State and beat Oregon in the playoff, he is now Penn State's defensive coordinator. So he has spent a ton of time evaluating what Oregon does. Penn State's defensive players played against Oregon's offense last year. Oregon's offense, they all know each other very well, having prepared for each other, quite frankly, 10 months ago. So I do think that there's a lot of stuff that comes into play with some past familiarity there. Yes, some of the pieces are different, but, all things considered, I think these teams are probably going to be, pretty familiar with what each other are at least going to try to do.
Oregon and Penn State will kick off Saturday at 6:30 on NBC. Thanks for your time, Corey.
Thanks, buddy.
This has been the Big Ten Blitz, presented by Groundworks. My thanks to Bella Pitts for their help, and Steve Kelly and Corey Geiger for joining us. More Sports Nightly coming up after this.
Over the last few years, we've redefined what working remotely means, and so has the Ford F-150. Bring your desk wherever you go with an available flat interior work surface. Drop down the available tailgate work surface to get it all done, and plug in what you need outside the cab with available Pro Power on board. How's that for upping your productivity? Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Get F-150 for 0.9% plus $3,250 cash, or lease one for $499 a month and $0 down. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole: Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
Set, hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
The work is dirty and sometimes dangerous. It's the kind that can break your body, and if you let it, your spirit. But while there may be better ways to make a living, you won't convince me there's a better way to live. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Welcome back. Final segment here. Final couple minutes left here for us on this Friday night as we kiss the bye week goodbye. We're back at it. Back into game week next week.
It moves too quick. It moves too quick. Michigan State, looking at them a little bit, pretty good offensively. Defensively, looking more into it, it's been a rough start for them. They gave up, I think it was 40 against Boston College. They gave up 45 against USC. So it has not been a really good start for Michigan State, anything but. They had a serious injury last week to one of their linebackers, Wesley Matthews, scary. Who was stretched out, was taken off in a stretcher near the end of the first half. So that's an impact player for them. But they got a lot of question marks. They're under a second-year head coach, Jonathan Smith. I remember him at Oregon State.
He's a great head coach.
He did a really good job there. He was an alum there.
Yeah.
And took this Michigan State job and hasn't been able to get a whole lot of traction. Won 5 games last year, which is a pretty good start for a first-year head coach. But for them, they're trying to take that next step. I don't necessarily know if they're there, but they're really good. I think they have a lot of a pretty high ceiling offensively.
So we still, even though there's no football, we will still be here on the network coming up tomorrow, 3 o'clock inside Devaney, Nebraska volleyball taking on Maryland. And the final game, well, I guess there's still lots to go, but it was one that was circled as soon as that schedule came out because next Friday at Penn State, Friday, October 3rd. So
I saw Pat McAfee doing some volleyball spikes inside the Penn State arena today because they're there for game day.
Oh, how'd he look?
It was good. Yeah,
really?
He smashed one down. Like I think he was with the volleyball team just doing like a workout, I guess, for digital content, but it was pretty cool. Now Penn State, they've had a rough start to their year, right?
Setter ended up walking away, and she's setter of the year, freshman of the year last year. That's like losing your starting quarterback. I mean, it just is hard to overcome when you have that special of a player, and so they're trying to work through that. But I mean, obviously it was Nebraska, Penn State 1-2 to picked preseason to win the league and to compete for a national title. They were in the top 5, and so but I think they're working through some kinks. It still will be an epic. You want to talk about a rowdy atmosphere when Nebraska comes to town there at Penn State. There's the history and tradition there. It's going to be fun. Although I do think Nebraska is head and shoulders the better team this year.
Yeah, I think everybody on that team probably circled that match. I know I circled that game when I was looking at the schedule when we first kind of heading into this season. Everyone circles that Nebraska, Penn State, 2 big powers, not just in the Big Ten, but in the entire country. So that's going to be another litmus test, not because it's Penn State, but also because it's on the road and you have to deal with that environment.
So again, 3 o'clock inside Devaney. We'll be on the air with the pregame show with John Baylor and Lauren Cook West starting at 2 o'clock right here on the Huskers Radio Network. And one quick final reminder, 105 on Sunday, Nebraska soccer looking to bounce back. First loss of the season last night, but they got a big one coming up on Sunday. Number 8, Iowa, 105 there out at Hibner. So get on out there, support this Husker soccer team. Going to be a big one for them, trying to get back in the win column, but it's a top 10 team, and also it's Iowa. So
gotta beat them.
Big game for them out there at Hibner. So that's going to do it for us. So when we come back, when we're back on the air, it's game week. Back to game week.
Let's do it. Let's kick it off.
All right. Have a great weekend, Husker Nation. Thanks to Josh, Kyle, I'm Jessica. Thanks for listening and watching, and we'll talk to you Monday as we get you set for Michigan State back here on the Huskers Radio Network on Monday.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole. Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
It's not a job. I don't start my day by logging in or end my shift by punching out. I don't have a corner office, but I do have a seat with a view. I get to see every sunrise and every sunset. And while I may technically be my own boss, I fully accept that I am not in charge. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
At Woodhouse Honda, we've got the perfect vehicle for every lifestyle. Shop the full Honda lineup and take advantage of limited time offers happening now. Lease the 2025 Honda Accord LX for $249 a month for 36 months and 10,000 miles per year. Visit us in-store off Highway 281 in Grand Island or online at woodhousehonda.com. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra, security deposit waived, $2,499 down plus first payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Stock number GH250127. Offer expires September 30th, 2025. See dealer for details.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life